Okay.
Like, I just started the
I
recording,
mean,
so yeah.
Juche is pretty cool. Like, so I was just thinking, you know, self-reliance or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, the whole left nationalism thing on top of it.
Yeah.
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 What?
Oh fuck! What's oh shit? Yeah, but is it more like memes or is it like serious now?
I am a left nationalist, but the whole NASDAQ ideology is like pretty much a meme.
Yeah.
I mean, like De Leon in his early years was before socialism. He was a nationalist, so, but he was like he was a weird kind of nationalist. He was basically like whatever country he was in, he was a nationalist of that country.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was like a wandering nationalist, essentially. At least that's what you can gather from just his early life. And and like when he lived in America and stuff, he would always make sure to live like in like Latin American communities. So he was kind of like a Latin American nationalist, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Scientims just wrote to me.
Yeah. Societism is he? Is
Yeah.
he? All right. What?
Oh wait. Oh, he said he's busy.
Oh. I thought it was Tanner you tried to get in contact with.
Yeah, but also before, you know, when we asked if Food and Pierre would join, yeah, I also asked Scientims if he wanted to join.
No. Oh wait, I'm also gonna give Zach the link at least.
Yeah.
I can wait. She's getting off later. Well, anyway, like I just thought like we could, since we're all here, make some general comments on the new esoteric entity bullshit.
Well, I think me and Rumpy already talked about you know, some stuff, but it would be nice to hear your guys' thoughts on the esoteric entity situation.
Well, I told Esoteric Entity that if he doxes anyone, some really funny leaks. I'd leak some really funny screenshots.
Yeah, but where do you get those from? Is it like some you went to some like esoteric server of some kind? Esoteric server?
No, it was screenshots with someone named ANCAP Chick.
But that's Booch. That's Booch, isn't it?
Yeah, who could that be?
Yeah. So when the screenshots do come, I'll just clarify that Boot is 19, so it's not like pedophilia or anything, but it's still really, really funny to tease the shit he said. But I'm not going to talk about them, what he said in those screenshots, because he has, to my knowledge, he hasn't doxed anyone yet. But if he does, I'll release them, and I'm really waiting for an excuse to do that. So if Esoteric Entity, if you're watching this, I'd really like an excuse to release those because they're really, really, really funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, they made the claim that Boot like changed the text what he said. Like he said like Control-Shift-I, but I think that the problem is you can only do that in like
Google Chrome.
Yeah, the Google Chrome.
Can't do that on Discord.
Yeah, you can't do it on the Discord. So.
Because on Esoteric Entity released a screenshot. It was like a quote unquote. It was like a screenshot of one of Democratic Socialists' thing, and the text clearly was edited because it said like, oh, so like so-called Finbull fans, you know, are like angry, you know, are like angry at him for the stuff he did, and that doesn't. First of all, that doesn't really sound like something Democratic Socialist 01 would say. He would be like, oh, real fans, because he kind of.
Yeah,
he switches from not to use the word fandom because that sounds really stupid. From community to community.
Yeah, like that's also like I actually remember Democratic Socialists at the start being very like pro Finball, but that was only because like he got the news from cultural Marxist. Like what's his name? Classic Marxist, classic commie.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, it's classic commie who always tells lies and stab me in the back, so obviously it's fake. And that was kind of his whole deal in the beginning. But, yeah.
But yeah, like, and also in that screenshot there was like angry faces, which I don't think are even on Discord, and they, like, if you look at them, like the way they were placed, it covered up the like bottom end of the Y in the screenshot. So that's clearly edited.
Yeah.
But that's
Well, it's like it's funny. It's gonna be amusing when the dump finally hits, and like it's just gonna be a lot of stupid shit.
He's gonna get cocked more than my fucking Discord server.
There must be a Kiwi Farms thread on Esoteric. I'd imagine he is like the ultimate lol cow.
Yeah.
Like everyone makes fun of him, even like libertarians.
Yeah.
He's a lol cow.
Yeah. Like I actually think it's funny. Like it's the people watching this now because
I don't think no one is.
Well, anyway, like I just remember. Do you remember? It's a bit far ago, but like I tried to stage a mass flagging of him.
Oh.
Yeah, which like really failed miserably.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, and I think it was funny back then because like the only people who thought that flagging him was unfair and unjust and we shouldn't do it to anyone, it was the fucking anarchists. It was.
I mean, I don't think. I think mass flagging is probably something we shouldn't do. But
yeah, but like it's that guy, and you know it's just be too good not to.
Yeah,
I thought so. Like he himself had tried to mass flag, and like I was actually talking to My Fanatics at that point, who said like she had experienced flagging attempts on her channel, and she thought that the esoteric entity was behind it. And you had also like had your channel removed because of him and his fans.
Not my channel, my Twitter account.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I thought like this is actually a threat to us. Like he's a retard, but he's actually doing damage. So we might as well retaliate.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I came with that proposal, and you know my plan was fucking retarded because like I thought it was a smart thing to do. But anyway, the only people who thought that was a bad idea was the anarchists.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Esoteric Entity actually has a Encyclopedia Dramatica article on him under the name Midnight Phantom, which was his like DeviantArt account. Phantom is spelled with an F, by the way.
Epic.
And he used to make like. Remember back when like ranting channels were a thing, you know? He had a channel like that, and he would make like these rants with like a Confederate flag in the background and stuff.
Oh yeah. I've seen that where he has like the sunglasses on and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I'll link the Encyclopedia Dramatica article in the chat if you want to look at it.
Oh yeah, good idea. Like, but Jesus Christ, he's so artistic. It's like, I bet he actually thinks this is a big deal. And he, and he got us now, and it's just like.
So where the like so the leaks from what so it's aimed apparently the people involved are what like Batco, Mexi, a few other people. What are like he the other thing that makes me question whether if there's even any like information is that he announces that he's going to leak it in July. Like if you have a lot of information, you don't like I'm going to leak this, but it's going to be in like a month. You know, that's kind of silly.
Alright, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna dox them or like?
Well, he says he's got some dirt on them, and he's going to make it public.
Wait! If he's gonna wasn't Demsog actually doxed before by like Louis Marono? What the fuck was called it?
Zorro or whatever his name
Zorro,
is.
Zorro.
Yeah, Zorro's, I guess, the one that's helping him with it or something.
Jesus Christ. It's, yeah.
This is kind of why I try to avoid Discord, because it's not even like YouTube drama, it's Discord drama, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can I have a second, because we just got an offer for an invitation by a very special gentleman who is known as Democratic Socialist.
Alright.
Yeah, so
So we have got a new person in.
A new legend to join the circle.
And I'm just waiting for Tanner to join, so...
Yeah, it's gonna... Let's see if we can make some sparks fly, as they say.
Yeah.
Of course. So, yeah. But anyway, it's gonna be a... well, perhaps he's just playing the long game just to see how much fucking attention he can woo up in the meantime. Like he's just going to like respond and do shit and like try to like attack us.
Hello, Democratic Socialist.
Yes, is he? Yes, thank you for joining.
Like, and the only people that are going to take him seriously are his like really stupid fans, like furry band caps, basically.
Yeah.
And Zorro and Zorro.
And so yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's just bait for us, basically.
I love Zorro's intro. That's really epic, actually.
Have you guys actually seen Zorro's appearance in the New York Rome's video where he like says Venezuela like he makes like the same arguments as exoteric entity about like Venezuela isn't reliant on oil and that it has all other resources it's reliant to. Yeah. But like when you tell them about the source, they don't like leak anything. Like a lot of the things exoteric entity talks about in debates, he doesn't really credit a source and thing. He just like makes shit out of his mind.
Yeah.
Ah, finally. Yeah.
I can't even find Zorro's channel. Oh, here it is.
Well, just write Fidel in hell, and then you'll find a channel. Yeah, he made one where like Fidel gets like raped by Satan or something like that.
Oh, crap.
I like his channel banner. It's just a picture of the Chilean parliament or whatever. And it says, and it's like this really shitty like Microsoft Paint smoke coming out of the windows, and it says Zorro in like some Comic Sans ass looking font, and under that it says objectivist anti-communist historian, and there's this little like cartoon avatar of like some guy who doesn't look like Pinochet, but he's wearing the Pinochet uniform.
I think it's a combination between Pinochet and the Zorro movie.
Yeah, I that's terrible. That's something no one would ever want.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck that combination comes from. Like the Zorro, the movie hero, and then fucking Pinochet, like.
And he's holding like an MP5, and then and there's also like a video game helicopter flying, and there's a silhouette being dropped underneath that. And there's also a really shitty like red Photoshop filter or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Like when he made his like anti-globalist TV, right? He doesn't really know what stance he's on. He likes the first day he calls Putin a communist, and then he says like he's a odd guy, but then after he says he's a communist again. Like, take a fuck. But he's the same person who's like who agrees with like Nero of Rome and you know those people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, Nero of Rome, he also like said that communism or socialism is like private property, but it's regulated by the people. Yeah.
Can you hear me or?
Yeah, you're coming in fine now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, like we were just kind of discussing like whatever he could have in store for like esoteric entity. What we might expect.
Oh, it would be anything that important, like, you know, I think, you know, when I used to fight with those people in 2015?
Yeah.
You know, those doxers, those impersonators.
Yeah.
You know, apparently he's getting information from them, and, you know...
Wait, was it like the...
Yeah, they're the lowest of the low, so, you know, it'll be quite easy to...
Wait, at the former anti-communist TV guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is he called now? Center-Right Alliance, or...?
I think he's called Blaze on the Right.
Blaze on the Right.
It's now. Yeah. I believe that guy is the guy that like Muke had his first debate with, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
He's now called Right Wing Alliance or Right Wing Federation, and he makes these really shitty videos where it's like a meme, and it's like, what do you think of this? And that's the title, and it's just a shitty meme with like maybe some like, I don't know, like Wii music on it or something.
Yeah, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
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 It's horrible what they make, but
yeah, but like it's all for the drama, just to like push it. Like, if you're just keeping their own shitty community alive or trying to like pick on us, and it's fucking autistic as always.
Okay, you have to see this this video by Zorro. It's his new intro. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
well,
it's
we can just put it on the. I'll just quit this and then we can put it on the the Let's Watch Together shit thing.
Yeah. Well, I think can't you share screens on here?
Oh no, we can use Watch Together. It's like a
yeah.
Okay.
Benji. Have you heard of Benji Adam? You know, I can't pronounce his last name, but he usually
oh yeah, Benji Adam, he used to make like these text videos, but now he like has them like.
No.
Yeah, he's got a good voice, but you know, he makes he makes videos mocking Zorro's intros.
Still horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just put a link in the chat, and fucking everyone can just participate in the chat.
And I understood how like these libertarians like always like support,
Alright.
now
it's in the
but
chat.
That's like the the final shelter of libertarians.
Zorro's just dumb.
What was the link again to the video?
Oh, okay. Oh.
The Zorro video.
Yeah.
The new intro. Yeah, I put it in chat. We'll send it again.
Well, I thought the YouTube chat, like.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love how Zorro hasn't grown at all, despite being basically being active as long as me.
Yeah.
He uploads like every 3 weeks too.
Do you actually remember Black Cat or what the YouTuber was called?
Yeah, I know Black Cat.
Yeah, have you seen the stream where like Zorro is like angry that Black Cat has more like subs than him? And
yeah, that's great. I've got that saved. Remember I put it in a video?
Do you have for that?
Yeah, it's like he's almost crying. Yeah, that's great.
It's very...
Pierre, did you have the link to the thing?
Yeah, Watch Together. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, have you sent it to us?
Yeah, like I put the link in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, the Watch Together. Yeah, I'll put the video in the Watch Together chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, it's that guy. Oh. I all in the watch. Oh shit! It's the Watch Together chat.
There's 2 people. I'm user I'll change that.
Wait,
how do we get there? Sorry, I don't
well,
usually do this.
It's in the YouTube. Like if you go to the stream on the YouTube, you can see I put a link there.
Oh, okay, so we'll be on your YouTube channel, or
Yeah, like you
In the stream.
Yeah, in the stream.
okay.
I'll be back. I'm gonna refill my water bottle.
Alright.
Okay.
oh man.
Alright, I think that's all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we
You
just
know,
wait for-
Tito did nothing wrong. Rom.
Well, apparently that's what you keep saying.
Yeah, but he didn't. He literally did nothing wrong, Tito.
Hmm.
He literally made a prosperous worker state.
Yeah, but like I think the general analysis of the old decent blog, I think it's more dependent upon, you know, we always tend to analyze this in Marxist term, and I think that's sometimes we also need to emphasize the like general historical and materialistic conditions that it developed from.
Yeah, but I don't think we should do like the Mises Institute and just say it was like a illusion.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's not what I'm saying either. But like, you know, you have the debate between, you know, those who are always discussing whether or not the October uprising was an actual Marxist revolution and that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, it's also really important to emphasize that no matter what the result was, it was always a successful revolution in the way that it turned the Russian state upside down.
Yeah. That's true. You could actually make the same case for Yugoslavia.
Yeah, like you can make that case for everything, but like we also have to like understand it in the Marxist development of lower and higher stages of communism.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah,
Well, I would argue that Yugoslavia was in a very developed stage, but I agree it wasn't really higher phase, but it was very developed. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, it had some flaws, you know, like getting too reliant on markets, you know, foreign markets.
Yeah, like the oil crisis back in the 70s was
70s.
like a high impact on the austerity policies that followed.
Yeah, they gave too much emphasis on the markets.
Yeah. But anyway, let's press the button and see what's
Oh god. This is the libertarian victory.
Epic helicopter.
Epic.
That's truly intellectual.
Yeah, a high watermark in the political
Debunked.
discourse.
I like the green screen like fire effects and the green screen helicopter.
Oh yeah.
And I like how the MS Paint picture is completely still. It doesn't even move. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you put like your interests are fucking dope, Pierre. Like that's some like high tier shit.
Yeah, like maybe an hour in After Effects, I guess.
Yeah.
I think this is an earlier intro, isn't it?
What?
I think this is one of his earlier intros.
Yeah, I think actually.
Yeah, his new one is slightly better edited, but still really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still horrible.
It might be in his let me see.
Yeah, he should. Yeah.
Have you guys actually heard of Denying History?
Yeah, I've heard of Denied History.
Oh, yeah. I found the Sorrow video, the Sorrow intro.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the real stuff. Like that's the reason why we all here.
The true libertarian.
Yeah, such a gentleman, a high watermark of the classical gentleman reimagined.
This is essentially what Hayek wanted.
Yeah.
Was this the movie or the series? Or
I think it's a series. I just
No,
literally
like
typed Zorro
It
intro.
was a series. It was a series.
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
Zorro is probably an ANCAP, honestly. Like the real Zorro.
Yeah.
No, I would say it's more of a minarchist.
The historical Zorro.
Yeah.
No,
Like he's just like a vigilante, so like he falls in all those kind of categories of fringe politics. Can you say that? I think so.
He's a national carcinist mutualist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna watch some retarded shit and try to debunk it?
Well, what do you want to watch?
Let's watch some esoteric entity, I thought.
Or we can. Or what about Academic Agent?
We are not going to watch academic agents. Like,
But make sure to share screen so that like the people in the stream can watch. The
yeah,
two people.
but that we are like watching it all. Who? Is that you, Butch, who do?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
The academic agent mostly does live streams now, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Alan is a big fan of those, aren't you, Alan?
Yeah, I'm a fan of. I'm not agreeing with Academic Agent, but I actually like his videos.
Okay.
Even though he's a pseudo-intellectual and a...
My favorite video is like the top fallacies of the left.
Oh
And
yeah.
It's like this really shitty like pop beat, and it's just listing like fallacies from like fallacies.com.
Oh,
That's high quality.
Yeah, I've seen that. Have you seen the where he like debunks race realism and says that IQ is about like low IQ only exists on the communist states, and then he uses Botswana and Zimbabwe as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something
Okay.
he would do.
Let's watch this shit then. Let's watch Alan's favorite
Recently,
gentleman.
one of my favourite right-wing YouTubers, Rocking Mr. E,
Oh,
made a
yeah.
great
He loves
video
comparing
called
Botswana
Fallacies
to
of the
Zimbabwe.
Left.
Fucking
I like
genius.
the music.
Yeah.
He has a great music taste, actually.
Not really.
Yeah,
no,
what's his
but
latest video?
It's great for the subject matter.
This is one of my favourite topics, and indeed I've touched on it before.
Oh, he's
many times
you
in
know,
previous videos, such as
in a
this
live
early
stream right
effort,
now.
Playbook.
Yeah, I know.
Who isn't a classical liberal?
Shall we try to like watch it?
Should we actually just read the stream, actually?
Yeah, let's rate the stream. Sure. Well, is that?
Let's get all 12 people to rate his stream, dude. That's a good idea.
Are we 12 people right now?
No, we aren't.
I don't think so.
We're like 5 people.
Two people watching, and
Yeah.
that's probably me and
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
watching too, so.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
So let's see what he's up to. Can we watch like that shit in here? Let's try.
Are you guys in the stream?
It has a doctrine called full spectrum dominance in all of its military, which means we want to be dominant completely in every last military theater. And I
Okay, I'm in it.
called it.
I'm into.
I'm
Yeah.
still pretty neutral on it. It's one of those. Again, I don't know. It's part of my views. I have no idea.
You kind of have to go case by case with some of those things,
Yeah.
but
I like
That's
the
one of
pink
Sal's
backgrounds on the
big
watch
points.
together.
That
Yeah.
foreign policy has
very
to be a
progressive.
case-by-case thing.
Yeah.
It's not something you can model with an always principled stance.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I do think something you can do to simplify it is America sort of just has a doctrine called full spectrum dominance in all of its military, which means we want to be dominant completely in every last military theater. And I called it just the don't think about it strategy, as in don't you even hitting us, which is the
Hey?
What was this?
Hello? I think you've broken up.
What? The stream? Me?
Hello?
As far as don't.
Russell?
is my microphone working?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Now it's-
Okay. Did it cut out? It cut out. Oh, I was just saying that basically the purpose of the military for me is to tell the other countries.
Oh wait, I can't follow who's talking.
Someone just wrote Marx was a hypocrite.
Yeah, like it's... I can't follow both of us. Like it's two streams at the same time.
Yeah.
Unkev and Kavia place my heart to thee, oh Jesus.
Choose the world.
People who are explicitly
I'm
not
just still think when Tanner is gonna join, like...
Not part of the tradition.
I don't think he's that busy.
I have tried to message him again. Like, we should all discuss his generational warfare theory.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
he's trying to like...
sounds terrible.
He's trying to make the theory of generational warfare.
Basically, killing all the boomers is the next step towards achieving full communism. That's essentially his
like
plan.
essentially, Karl Marx and Engels basically made a scientific analysis of socialism. Lenin, he theorized imperialism and the Vanguard Party. Stalin theorized how to combat fascism. Or Lenin did, but Stalin saw the rise of fascism. Hoxha theorized or developed the theory of combating revisionism, and Tanner will develop generational warfare.
Yeah.
The seventh stage of Marxism.
Oh, by the way, Pierre, I forgot to tell, like, Alen explained to me, like, the Tanner who was a Catholic is not the same Tanner as we were talking to.
Yeah, that's two Tanners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Hoxha Tanner is Tanner Starika. The guy who
Oh, that one, the Hojas? I thought you were talking about the Irish Tanner.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the same thing I was confused about when we first talked about it. Like, that's top guy Tanner.
No, we talk about the guy who came in jail.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm glad that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Although Tanner's did he is gone from Twitter now, so.
Is he? Oh yeah, that's why I haven't seen him the last couple of days.
Oh no, he seems to be back.
Well, like there was a whole like referendum in Ireland, and then he had like him and his gang had a sort of meltdown. So.
Yeah.
Oh, the abortion or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yeah. Anyway, Demsock, do you kind of dig like I know you hate Academic Agent, but don't like dig his style with like the old actor? Like I know it's some old British actor who was famous in the 50s and 40s.
Yeah, it's better to use that as an avatar than an MS Paint like picture of like a guy.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah.
Your persona, using your persona as your avatar.
It's kind of actually funny to see like have you guys actually watched one of the episodes of Unpopular Opinions?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, from Academic Agent. He like says Tony Blair was a Marxist, and he basically made the Cultural Revolution in Britain. I'm not even kidding. It is actually a video he made where he's serious about it.
He blames Tony Blair for the crime rate, doesn't he? Or...
Yeah, no, he said he turned it into a police state.
Okay. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony Blair destroyed free speech or something.
Yeah, and then he said he's a leftist revolutionary. And...
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because since he's kind of a neocon, maybe he was a Trotskyist in his youth or something. I don't know.
I think
Tony
he was.
Blair? Yeah, Tony Blair was a Trotskyist, from what I've heard.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like that was the whole thing you had the discussion with Nightmare Fuel about. Like, Pierre, do you actually think you might want to like make a debate with Nuke at some point?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah, because like it seems to be like you're kind of just bullying each other at this point, so it could be kind of funny to see it taken to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to argue with him on Twitter about his weird ideas. I made that video in response to him regarding whether or not the Soviet Union was socialist or not. He never responded to that. any of my tweets against his like abolish schools thing. He never responded to any of those. His weird interpretation of the Republican system of the free association, or of the Association of Free and Equal Producers. He never responded to those. So at this point, I'm just going to make fun of him, because if he's not willing to just like actually debate my points, then might as well.
Yeah.
Wait,
But I'd like a live debate would probably be better than Twitter. So
Yeah.
wait, how didn't just beware of the definition mongering Zexisi does in his debates.
yeah, it's weird because like Zexisi, he started with like left communism, and now he's gone onto these weird ideas that are beyond left communism. Like there's nothing in left communist like official like left communist doctrine about abolishing schools or getting rid of like everyone can just like sit around and chill out and stuff.
Yeah.
And like he uses these weird like his interpretation of the Republican system of the Association of Free and Equal Producers. He just kind of like he doesn't know what that means. He puts his own like interpretation on that. So when it says Republican system, which implies that there would be rights and freedoms don't come without any duties, he doesn't even mention that. And when he says Association of Free and Equal Producers, he thinks that means like, oh yeah, that means you're just like chilling out, like you're not working. There's no like. You can just take from the collective what you want, and you don't have to contribute. Which is like actually that would just be theft,
Yeah. Like I honestly think he might have stopped reading at this point.
Well,
he
never read, but he at least tried to read the State Revolution.
Yeah. Well, lately, like to be fair, lately I haven't really been reading much because I've just been preoccupied with other things, which is also why I haven't made a video, because when I go through periods of not reading, I just feel stupid.
Well, I have problems with reading Marx, so I just read Keynes and Hayek. So
yeah, Alen is basically a welfare state lava at this point.
Yeah. I just have the Marxist, like if I'm pretending to be a Marxist, but I'm essentially just reading Keynes and Hayek. Because they're much easier to read, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't really, because the terminology Marx uses is, you need to understand like Kant, and when you need to understand Kant, you need to understand David Hume, and then it's just
exactly. You have to read all this very old philosophy. Well, like at least for Capital. For other books, you can understand, like Wage, Labor, and Capital.
Yeah,
like he also wrote a lot of stuff like to general understanding.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But like, same with Critique of Gotha Program. That was also not really that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's actually funny how Zexisi uses Critique of Gotha Program against the USSR, but Marx says that birthmarks of commodity production and even just capitalism itself will be, a thing, in a lower phase communist society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I don't really understand why Zexisi has taken the path, and I don't understand why Jason Unruh won in the debate with Zexisi. It's like a waste of time.
Yeah, like Jason Unruh did do very poorly in that debate, though. Yeah, I think it's just because he's kind of just losing touch with Marxist theory, and he's just focusing more on news and stuff.
Wait, what? Newism?
Jason Unruh, yeah, I think he's kind of like losing touch with Marxist theory. Like, he focuses more on news now instead of.
He's trying. Yeah.
Before,
he used to do economic analysis. Now it's more news and stuff, which is fine, but.
And I also don't really think he cares about Muke, like in the sense that he just think he can dismiss all his points and then that will be fine.
Yeah.
Like they don't have respect for each other, which can be a problem if you want to debate them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With Muke, because like the other thing is that Jason has like they both have very clear personal animosity towards each other. Like they just clearly on a personal level just hate each other. Like Muke, like I could debate him because like respectfully and honestly, because I don't have any respect for his ideas. But as a person, he seems like an okay, like he seems okay. Like I could get along with him, aside from politics, you know. So.
When did Jason start hating Zixzy?
Wasn't he when he made the comment in the mailbag?
But hasn't it always just kind of be two meme ideologies just can't really function next to each other?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, going like, because Zixzy used to like Jason in ring.
Yeah,
he said that before, like oh, like you know, he might be a tanky, but he knows his stuff. In his like very early videos.
But yeah, but when
he was a libertarian Leninist.
But like he knew nothing.
Yeah.
He basically just, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, like you think you might want to make try to like make attempts to start an actual debate with him on a stream or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see that actually.
Yeah. That's also what I was thinking, just in general.
The trouble is that Pierre doesn't have, 30,000 subscribers, so I don't think Zixzy will bother.
Yeah, he's a little. He seems to be more career oriented these days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like that's actually another fun part me and Alen was talking about, because I really think that will like backflip on him, totally.
Yeah.
Did we also talk about the counterpoints thing? How he's selling out just for the career shit?
Well, yeah, like that's the point. Like the problem is, but they don't want to buy him.
Yeah.
Like I really can't see a situation where like you have the H-bomber guy and you have the Sean, and they will like go hand in hand together and make like the usual kind of responses to the alt-right. Like I really just can't see that happening.
Yeah.
I don't think they will take him in like that. And then we will have, you and Demsock just kind of, slaughtering him from the back while he tries to go forward. So yeah.
Yeah. Essentially just a sellout nobody wants to buy.
But he keeps getting those subscribers, so perhaps he's doing something right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know how he gained so many subscribers, because he doesn't upload very much, and it must be from Twitter, I would assume, because he's like, oh yeah, I'm buddies. Oh, also streams. That's the other thing. He streams with like Contra, and he gets subscribers.
Yeah, Contra, Peter Coffin, Sargon,
Yeah.
Peter Coffin, wasn't he that guy like in Black Pigeon's video? You remember that one about the left? And he was like, oh no, that's something else. That's something else. But
yeah, Peter Coffin is really weird. Like there's like a weird history about him with like he faked his girlfriend, or like he faked having a girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't he
Kimi Kubayashi or something?
What?
What was her name? It was Kimi Kubayashi?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he said I think it must have been a fake account or something.
But anyway, I know
it could have been.
He wrote a book, like he's writing on a book, and I know, like, I saw one tweet where he was like, oh, like Ayn Rand and Stirner is basically the same thing. Like
Ayn Rand, really?
Yeah, and like egoism and objectivism is essentially just the same thing. And you know, I haven't read either, but you know, it kind of sounds similar. So I'm putting in this in this book I'm writing. Like he essentially made a tweet that said that.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah, that's just silly.
Yeah.
Damn.
But anyway, like you're trying to like push the make the Leonist meme rather than the Sterner meme right now, Pierre.
I mean, yeah, I guess I wouldn't say Deleonism is a meme.
Well, no, that's not what I meant either. It's just you know, in generally brand. As I guess I wanted to say meme rather than brand, but you know that's. But like it's more like beneficial to be a Deleonist than push the Sterner brand.
Yeah. I used to be an egoist. I'm certainly not anymore.
Yeah. Like I guess like Sterner is like egoism kind of defeats the whole purpose of what Sterner actually was about. I think at least.
I guess so. I mean, it depends what you mean by egoism, because Sterner was clearly quite obviously an individualist. I don't think he could. Well, he never used the term ego. He used the term unique.
Yeah, that's more like that's Einziger.
Yeah. And there's a new translation, the unique in its own. Which...
Yeah, I saw. Like I read the Danish version, so I always been a bit Yeah. Which was also called The Only and His Property. So.
Ego og sin egen.
Nej, den eneste og hans ejendom.
Oh, det eneste hans ejendom.
Yeah.
What did the word? Because he used the word egoist from the translation I have, which is the Verso translation. In the beginning, it used the term egoism. Or egoist. What was like the actual term? Was it like?
I will say that's Einziger. Like
okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I know, like ego, but like egoism, as in, like I know ego. Instead, he used Einziger, which was translated to ego, but there was in the Verso edition, it used the word egoism, and I just wanted to know what word they translated that from.
Well, yeah, in the Danish is just den eneste, hvilket betyder just the only.
Okay.
Which is the same as unique, and it's the same as in German Einzige. It's also meant like the first or the one of those.
Okay.
Like ein, aus of eins, right? Yeah. So like, it's a bit of a leap in some ways, like which kind of misconstrues the whole part. But I think you can make the connection in some ways, but you need to understand the context.
Yeah.
Which is why I think like a lot of egoism is basically a mistake nowadays.
Mm-hmm. I hear from what I know from other egoists, there's a split in the Sterner community, which between egoists and egoist communists, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, Dr. Bones, yeah, I guess they're at each other's throats, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
There's also been like a heavy split between two Titoists. So.
Between Titoists?
Yeah.
About what?
You have the more like libertarian socialist Titoists, and then you have the tanky Titoists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Libertarian Titoism. Okay.
Well, yeah, I called myself a libertarian Leninist Titoist, so I'm not any better. So. Yeah. But essentially, in my view, Titoism is just like outdated because I don't.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, if unless you live in the Balkan region. I don't know why you would call yourself a Titoist and just call yourself a market socialist, because Titoism also has that like socialist patriotism element that's centered around like pan-Yugoslavian nationalism. So
yeah. Well, it also it you know it had like pan unity, but it also supported like other pan unity movements. Like my father was a part of the Communist Party, Yugoslavia, and he even told me that that there was like the the Yugoslav Congress, and then there was actually the African Reunion Congress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and some other they basically wanted like patriotism like around the world. Like essentially, instead of one state, it would be like small patriot states.
Yeah. I know there's like a lot of certain, especially from Marxists, skepticism of like pan-nationalist movements. I know Paul Cockshott isn't a really big fan of them, and it is I guess because like pan-nationalist movements, historically, like some of them have been aligned towards fascism, but I mean. I think if there's to be like a merger of like pan-nationalist movements with like Marxism or socialism, I think that's I guess a step in the right direction, even though it's obviously deviant from Marxism. But
well, it isn't Marxist.
Yeah.
Tito never proclaimed himself as a Marxist. He was. In the sense he wanted to achieve, communism, but he wasn't as like.
I got you. Yeah.
Well, like, but these kind of that's the other thing I can talk a bit about. Like these things kind of also arise out of the conditions you're born from, like what state. Essentially. Like there's also stages before you can actually initiate any kind of socialist or communist regime, which.
But that deviation came after the trade with the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, what Stalin did was like he, made the embargo, and they didn't have raw materials they needed to produce for the factory, so they went to the West. But to do that, they needed to, to make the reforms.
Yeah.
So yeah, but also the fact that the parliament had like conflicts about the decentralized people, with Kardil and the centralization of Brankovic. So there was like the clash between those. And even if Tito was like a supporter of centralization, he was forced to choose decentralization because Marxism-Leninism wasn't really popular in the Communist Party. They were very syndicalistic, actually.
Really? So, like, were they Sorelian or something?
What?
Were like the Yugoslavian Communist Party? Were they Sorelian or something?
You could say that actually.
Yeah.
There were also some like industrial unionists, like few or something. But,
huh.
Yeah. They like didn't want the Yugoslav state. They wanted like industrial unions to rule the country.
Yeah. So yeah. I actually plan on making a video. It's an idea in my head. It's like comparing like Sorel to De Leon and what they like disagreements and stuff. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I think that's a good idea because like De Leon is it's kind of underrepresented in the general discussion.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't call myself like an orthodox De Leonist because there's a lot of like stuff in De Leonism that's quite outdated, and it like De Leonism does need to be updated for the modern times. Like I saw someone in my server was like, "Oh, De Leonism is when you think like a union leader from the early 20th century. It should be like taken as gospel." And I'm like, well, there might be some De Leonists who think that, but I wouldn't cut myself in on them.
Yeah. Well, like I generally think like for like political ideologies, you can't just remain orthodox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like generally, how the general social condition changes, the ideology has to adapt in some way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Should we put some thoughts on E3? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Just Cause 4.
Was it E3?
I was. Yeah, it was. They showed it. I'm not, because I think they should wait a bit for Just Cause 4 because they released Just Cause 3 not too long ago.
Yeah.
Because like the thing, like the great thing about like Just Cause is like how there's like they kind of leap, like they advance like the gameplay by quite a bit. So like Just Cause 1 there was the parachute, but there wasn't like it wasn't like in Just Cause 2 where you had the parachute grappling hook thing, which really revolutionized the gameplay. And then in Just Cause 3, it wasn't that much of a leap forward. They added the wingsuit, but it still kept gameplay dynamic. With Just Cause 4, I don't really know how they're going to make it feel much different.
Yeah.
Because no one plays Just Cause for the story.
Yeah. But actually, they should actually make a social characteristic. Like, it's just some aesthetic, for a Just Cause game.
Yeah. Well, like with Just Cause 3 with General de Rivera, they had like a Gaddafi thing going on with him.
Yeah.
Like a moose, like the aesthetics were like a mix between fascist Italy,
and some
Gaddafi stuff, and kind of like an Assad thing going on there.
Mm.
I guess that's kind of what they were. It looked like what they were going for. I like the last part, like like De Rivera when you kill him.
Yeah, when you shoot him like to the fire, something like when you fight the helicopter with the shield.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have like trusted the American imperialists," and then he gets shot. That was pretty cool.
I think the boss battle was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Because like,
it was too easy, especially because I had the like mini nuke thing.
Yeah.
That just made it really easy because I just had to shoot the helicopter a few times and grapple around and yeah.
Yeah. The game was pretty short. I actually think they could make it much longer.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was actually a very relaxing game when you like fly to grab. I actually used to like took like to turn some audiobooks, and then just like fly around.
Yeah. So what do you think of Fallout 76?
Well, we don't know yet, but honestly, like the thing I'm most comforted about is like they are going to make a beta.
Yeah, that'll make it a lot better.
Like
I think they should have a beta for all of their games, even though they're all single player, and usually betas are for multiplayer games.
Well, they're gonna make a multiplayer to this Fallout.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're doing it.
But at least, like, I think the important thing is, like, at least we will know 100% what it is when they release it.
Yeah.
Like, basically, now we know nothing except, like, it's West Virginia and taking the home country road. But, like, when they finally, like, release it, when they finally make the beta, then everyone will know what it's about and what you do.
Yeah. Well, they did show a lot of E3. Like, you kind of know what it, like, nothing about the story. We actually don't really even know if there is one. They kind of, like, said, yeah, there's a story. There's, like, quite, like, it seems like, I'm afraid that, like, the story is going to be, like, a bunch of, like, fetch quests, and, like, all the stories is, like, in, like, terminals and holotapes and stuff. Which,
yeah, that's kind of the thing they have been hinting at.
Yeah, like they've been very they really haven't been talking about the story. Which I guess, to be fair, they didn't talk about the story with Fallout 4. They just said like, oh, yeah, you come from the vault, and
yeah,
you know they didn't even mention like the institute. So
like I would kind of like if it's just, you know, if there isn't an overarching story, I would kind of honestly appreciate that, considering how shit they made Fallout 4. So like just stick to some wacky side quest, wacky well-made side quest. I will like just generally appreciate that.
yeah, I'm doing another playthrough of Fallout 4, and like it's. I have like playing it now. I have a better impression of it than when I finished the game a few years ago, but it's still like very lackluster for a Fallout game. Like the role playing elements are very dumbed down, even from Skyrim.
Yeah.
And Skyrim didn't even have really any. Well, they were the only like really big choices were if you wanted to go Stormcloak or Imperials, but at least like. In who your character was, there was choice in that, you know, and the main quest could go differently if you decided to not go with any of the factions. You could like resolve it through like a meeting with the Greybeards and stuff. So, and Fallout 4, like even with the there's like 4 factions you can choose from. They're still not that different, and the quests aren't really that different from each other. And the ending is all the same too.
Yeah, like I really think like the way they wrapped it up was just a catastrophe.
That's the thing I hate the most about Fallout 4 is the ending. Like there wasn't even like the end cards like explaining like the outcomes of like the side quests you did. Dem sucks said he's gone.
Oh yeah, I kind of. Yeah. But yeah, in general, like I really hated it. Like you couldn't just tell them like you couldn't just tell them off like clearly like we have a disagreement here and I'm not going to do that. Like you didn't have that agency.
Yeah.
Like basically you could like tell, you know, General Ironfuck or what he was called, like the Brotherhood of Steel. You can just say like I don't want you to do this shit, and if I say that you're kind of also the guy in charge because they all depend on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like the thing I didn't like, they removed like for the Brotherhood of Steel, like if you didn't like the whole like synth genocide thing, but like, oh, you like the Brotherhood of Steel because they have cool power armor or something. You know, originally in the hidden game files, like you could actually like kill Arthur Maxon, and take over the Brotherhood of Steel, but they removed that.
Oh.
And all the quest dialogue is still there. Like there's a mod that enables it.
Oh,
like all the dialogue and stuff from it. Yeah, it's in the game. It's in the game files. They just removed that feature. I don't know why, but they did.
Honestly, I will say they will do it because like it like kind of puts that at an advantage, because you can't do that in any of the other factions. Like that's actually the best choice. Just assassinate the leader and just put yourself in charge. That should be the default by any of them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like the railroad is like right now, because I'm doing a railroad playthrough, and what I don't like about the railroad is it's like the only choice you have is to just be like the most like virtue signaling like guy in there. Like you're just like this just moral like you know, figure. And I kind of want to play it as like someone who's like, oh yeah, I want to free the synths, but I want them so I can have cheap labor or something for my settlements. Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just want to play as like this like scummy like.
But wouldn't that just be like
slumlord,
go with the Institute then?
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I like, to me, like if you go with the Institute but you still want the whole settlement thing, it wouldn't make sense. Because like the whole thing with the Institute is like, oh, the surface is gay, so fuck that. Yeah.
That's right.
It doesn't seem like Tana is gonna join anytime.
Ah, well, whatever. Well, you just, go on and on about all the stuff.
Who?
Tana, like the generational warfare game.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Like, I generally like... My problem with Titoism and Hoxmism is and those kind of direction is that they are like very locally contented. Like,
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mean Hojism is a thing, but
let's see what's going on generally. Ah.
But he hasn't really updated his page, so he hasn't talked about generational warfare. He has talked about accelerating the baby boomers.
Yeah, of course. Like, the thing I think is the most weird about the generational warfare is like it's something that both the left and the right agree upon.
Yeah. No, it doesn't even need to be. You can actually just ask like a centrist. He would even like.
Yeah, everybody hate the boomers. Like, it's not really a political point to making that kind of say, oh, it's the next step of the dialectic. Well, only because like it unites basically all current political fractions to like beat them up. It's
yeah. You know, I feel like Gen X doesn't get enough hate because Gen X, Gen X is literally like millennials but worse. You know?
Yeah.
Like they use all the technology millennials do, and they act like in the same way, but then they also have this like this boomer mentality, like, oh yeah, we're hardworking and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think Generation Y. I think we're the just the Ubermensch basically. We're the future of the human race.
Yeah,
You
like.
know?
Actually, I was just thinking about, I saw, people that are discussing whether or not you should lower the voting age. Like, Labour and Britain, they want to, like, give a 16-year-old the right to vote. And, like, there's a lot of people that's, like, saying, that, like, lowering the voting age is like a left-wing thing because, young people are idealistic and they want to like vote for all the the social welfare policies and that kind of shit. But like I really think it's the opposite. Like I think like the newer generation will be, as they are right now, totally more right wing than we are. Like
I'd say so. Just from what I like and. Like, I'd say, okay, lower the voting age, but have, like, maybe, like, if you're under 18, you have to take an IQ test or something. You have to take a test that, like, proves that you're knowledgeable about politics.
Well, I think that the funny thing about that, like, if you do that towards everyone, like, it will only be, like, 1/3 of the nation who's allowed to vote.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like, democracy is fucking retarded, just in general.
Same with free speech.
Yeah. You shouldn't have free speech. But like, they actually make some experiments in Denmark. I don't know if you heard of it, Alen.
Oh God, what have you done now?
Not me. Some school.
Oh, what have Denmark done? So then.
Well, it was in Copenhagen. They made like this huge experiment where some children at a public school to hold this grand election within themselves, so they can like. Yeah, they did that, and they actually discovered that none of the children cared about the left-wing parties. They all just wanted to vote for, the liberal alliance, left-wing,
Liberal alliance are fucking retarded.
Yeah, but like all this kind of centrist bullshit.
I essentially want to actually just like hope we get a like a party, right? It can even be the radical left, the social liberals, because I just want a party that it has like high taxes, because that would increase output of money.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have heard of the equation that actually 30% of £100 will actually result in £30, and which is more than 20% you will get of £100. But yeah, that's basically like the BTFO of Hayek and such.
Yeah.
Or at least the people who want lower taxes. That's basically like higher tax rates gives like higher output of profit and income.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah. Why aren't you an accelerationist anymore?
I never was. Well, like a
You
full-on
supported Trump for accelerationist reasons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Accelerationism was really only a tactical thing, and it still kind of is. But what I'm thinking now is that I think for a revolution to even be possible, because if there's a situation where a revolution would become an available path to go towards, the thing is, any revolutionary revolutionary fervor could be extinguished with a reform that could fix the current alleviate the current situation. So maybe it's like, okay, well, maybe we just take social democracy to its limits, and then if a situation arises, there's nothing else that could be done, and which would mean the only logical avenue would be revolution. Or
yeah.
Well, so Ram, would you support Alen's list?
Me? This is a question for me. Well, I don't like. It's always like it's just a bunch of Marxists in the parliament. Like they're just there for show. They're not going to change anything in any significant way.
It's actually pretty funny, actually, because you see Marxists and post-Keynesians, and it's like my dream party.
Yeah, I believe so. But how much do they get? Like 10%, 5%?
Yeah, they have more than liberal aliens.
Really? Well, then I might
It's liberal aliens is actually a very small party.
But they actually, it's kind of a miracle, because Enhedslisten is a party, it used to be the communist and the anarchist and the left comes, and then
and it wasn't anarchists.
Well, okay, there was left comes and Marxist, and then you were
there was Marxist and Trotskyist and Maoist.
Marxist, Trotskyist, Maoist, and left comes, and they were like, well, nobody cares about us on our own, so let's just form a party together. So it's like it was actually.
And now it's just Marxist and Keynesians.
Yeah, but anyway, back then it was like left unity achieved.
Yeah, well, it's because most Danish people don't really care about the ideological disagreements.
No one really cares about them. We just think of them as the most left thing we can vote for.
Yeah, which is a pretty woke party, because you get post Keynesians and.
But you had the election not far ago, Pierre. Did that go as you expected it would, or?
In Ontario, it went as how I thought it would. Although I expected the NDP to get a little bit more of the vote, and I expected it to be a conservative minority government instead of a conservative majority government, but it ended up a conservative majority government. And the NDP did fucking awful. Although, interestingly enough, my entire city went orange. So my entire city went to the NDP. And I was thinking, okay, maybe
class consciousness you sweat on your pastime.
Yeah. It must be my YouTube videos. I think that's what made my city go orange. Even though I know of 2 people in my city who watch my videos, and they're all my friends. So maybe it's just the aura of my videos that.
Yeah. It's like you walk down the street and you have this hypnotic effect where people watch you and they are like, oh, clearly we are socialists now. We're voting NPD.
Yeah. What was really funny actually is I was at my grandparents' a few days ago for Father's Day, and it was because before the election, when I last talked to my grandmother, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna vote for Doug Ford. I really like the things he said." I'm like, "Okay." And then after, like, I talked to her about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, fucking Doug Ford won. Yeah, I voted NDP." Yeah, I'm like, oh, "Okay." And what was also really, really funny is that, like, on my Plex server, I put the movie called The Young Karl Marx. I haven't actually watched it yet, but because with the Plex server, it's like a media server where you can put like movies and stuff on, and you can share it with people. And my grandmother, they were like, "Oh yeah, we watched The Young Karl Marx. We thought it was a really good movie." I'm like, "Really? Okay." So it must just be my presence. Then.
Yeah.
Just my mere presence, probably.
Wait, the Orange Party, is that the Orange Party the New Democratic Party, or?
Yeah, the Social Democrats.
Oh wait, the leader, where is he from? He doesn't look Canadian.
I think he was born in Canada, but he's like Sikh, so. But the Ontario leader was Andrea Horvath, who I believe had a Czech background or something.
Yeah. Well, is Justin Trudeau woke, or is he like...
Jesus Christ, Alen. Why the fuck do we even have to ask that?
Is he?
No. If you ask, like, sassy black women on Twitter, I guess so. If you ask me, no, he's stupid.
And if you ask Paul Joseph Watson...
Well, he's pretty hot, though. I'll give him that.
Not really.
I mean, he works out regularly, like he goes on jogs and stuff.
If he grew a beard, that would be like, he would look handsome. But like without it, looks like, I don't know, kind of like...
Yeah, he used to have a beard thing going on when he was sort of profiting off of his father by doing interviews and stuff, but...
Oh.
And during one of them, he like fell down the stairs.
Classic.
It'll be interesting to see if he gets reelected.
Yeah.
Because from consensus, I think he won't. At least, especially in Ontario, which is like that's kind of what matters in Canada. Like no one cares about the other provinces. It's really Ontario, BC, and Quebec that determine the election. Quebec determines whether or not it's going to be a majority or minority government.
Wait, actually, what's your thoughts about the idea that Canada is going like the American Sweden?
Well, do you even know what Sweden is like?
Yeah, I don't know much about Sweden. I've heard things from like right wingers, and I don't know if they're true.
Well, it's kind of like this really retarded thing because like in Scandinavia we always have a very homogeneous population. Like we never have colonies or empires, and like immigrants is a pretty recent thing. So when you have like a nation who, you know, you have this myth of them being the Aryans, and then, you know, they have the social welfare system who apparently works, but then they also now got minorities and immigrants, and then it becomes this kind of thing where, oh no, look what the socialist welfares, communists have done to this country. So it's like, it's just a meme for people who have never been there.
Yeah. I mean, like, if like the American Sweden, if that means like there's going to be kebab shops everywhere, it's kind of already like that. So
yeah.
Oh. Exactly. Well, kebab shops everywhere. There's this also in Denmark. So
but and Poland too. So which is apparently like the you know the jewel of Europe.
But there's no in Hungary. So
what?
Yeah.
It was weird because like when I was in like Poland, like the myths I've always heard were that it's like so right wing, anti EU, like they hate immigrants, and I was there and I see all these kebab shops. I see quite a lot of immigrants, and also I see people like waving the EU flag and like fuck Russia.
No.
You know, and they're like about the Smolensk, Smolensk plane crash. or whatever.
They shot the Russians shot it down, or the
no, it wasn't the fucking Russians. You fucking was the Ukrainian puppet.
Oh yeah.
Was the Ukrainian rebels who shot it, or the Ukrainian jet that shot it?
No, the Smolensk crash was no one shut it down. It's just that it was very foggy and they were flying too low, and it crashed. And there's a conspiracy theory that Russia shot it down, which is not true.
Wrong, because Putin did nothing wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Alen, you're like a putist. How do you say that?
What do you mean? Putinist?
Yeah, Putinist.
Yes, man.
Yeah, that's like...
Oligarchical socialism.
Yeah, that's the new Tsar.
Yeah, basically Marxism-Leninism, Putinism.
Hmm.
With Titoist characteristics.
Of course.
Yeah. He did nothing wrong, essentially.
Yeah, none of them ever did something wrong.
Yeah, Xi Jinping is also an alright fam, and Kim Jong-un, I don't like he's shaking hands with Trump, but...
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask, like, Pierre, have you also thought about, making a video about, well, now it's kind of like, degeneracy?
I might.
Like, I wrote my article about it, and how did you actually find it? Like, you said it was pretty alright, or pretty good.
Yeah, I agreed with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Like, I kind of like
went
a bit hyperbole at the end, like, on purpose, because, I just think, like, what should we do, like, just making the argument, so, like, the negation can take it from there. But it's like, do you think, like, what, do you have an idea for a gambit too?
For a what, sorry?
A gambit, like also to like make it go at it, the anti-degeneracy.
Yeah. I might make a video like explaining my thoughts on it further. There was an article that I still plan on writing, but it's been a while. It was a response because Porku or whatever did a response to that article. I probably still will respond to it, but I just kind of forgot about it because it wasn't very significant. And the points were pretty easy to respond to. I might respond to it after I make my latest video.
Yeah. Because
I did say I'm going to respond to it. I still plan on doing that. So.
But yeah, like I remember Porco like also being like, you also discussed the same thing about like Lenin also had this point about being balanced in your everyday life and the importance of that. And he was also like, well, that's just spooks.
Yeah.
And it was also like kind of why I wrote my article to like try to actually explain why it's important to live in to control your desires and not let your desires control you.
Exactly. Yeah. And like the other thing about the article was it was clearly just to like something that like it was clearly very anarchistic because the idea of revolution and like, oh well, we're going to alienate like queer revolutionaries, and it's like, well, no, like your idea of revolution is more insurrectionary because you're more about appealing to a very like radicalizing a very small minority of society, and essentially your whole thing is rebelling against social norms, which is not revolutionary. That's just sort of a social insurrection, I'd say.
Yeah.
That was sort of going to be the main. That's going to be the main theme of the article. When I do write it.
Well, it's like I don't know if we should really talk about it because like there have been like left and right like just people who we keep digging up shit on, like Finn Bull and Maoist hoaxism from the Maoists, and then there's also a bunch of anarchists that has done some weird shit now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like what's the current discourse just seems to be like all around the internet is like digging up shit on people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it turns out that they're doing some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah. And like but like I also think like I kind of in my article, and this is also why I kind of does a bit of hyperbole because we don't really have a way to deal with it. Like we can like say, oh, this person is shit, and we're gonna make like Snitch did a fucking ditch track on Finball, and like that's just fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
Yeah.
Well, he is just silly.
Yeah, but like we don't, as I said, we don't really have a way to ostracize or punish or chastise people who like does this fuck up shit. So like I also think like that's kind of the way we should like try to pull the debate, try to you know, like it's a very fragmented community to be a part of the political online sphere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Schnitz has been like really weird lately.
Yeah, he is.
I haven't. Is he still uploading videos?
No.
Yeah, the last I've seen of him is in his weird like LARP thing and not LARP, but his it's his roleplay server on Second Life.
Yeah, Second Life. He's now called Eddie. He isn't called Snitch anymore in Discord.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, this is basically it. Like, I kind of miss when he was a Titoist.
That's all you really just want, like a whole bunch of Titoists to hang out with.
Well, yeah, but now, like, I actually remember, like, before, like, the start of the year, like, it was, like, me and other Titoists, and then now they've just, like, left, and I'm, like, the last one in the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even though I have disagreements with Titoists, at least they were chill people.
Yeah.
You know, like they weren't the type of people to like make call out threads on you or something. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah,
like.
Even Muke, like in his early days, was like, okay, not the smartest guy around, and he still obviously isn't. But at least he was like. Like he was like a chill guy, like, you know.
Yeah.
Now he always has like his like aneurysms on Twitter, and yeah, he's just, I don't know. He's just kind of like jumped into the whole like careerism thing, so now he has that kind of like SJW kick in him.
Yeah.
You know.
Like it's all like spectacle, and like trying to push some kind of hysterical rant onto like some bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like I have the opinion like the general like that trying to advance politics on social media is kind of counterproductive at this point, and it probably always been.
Yeah. Which is kind of the problem, because like if you want to advance political discussion, the only way to really do that on a larger scale is online.
Yeah, but it's
also because just like the cancerous atmosphere of social media kind of plays against that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get like the only way to like the only place that's, well, it's still cancerous but less cancerous are, I guess, like image boards like Lefty Poll, which also defeats the whole like mass change thing or mass attention that you would want to if you wanted to actually change political discourse. So, because then it's just stuck in a niche, and then also the fact that it's just a bunch of anonymous people arguing, which actually might be a benefit and also a curse, but you know, because then. Yeah, because like the problem with like social media politics is because there's like a person associated with that, and then it becomes kind of like it starts to become like this really
personality cult.
Yeah, this personality cult and personality and fighting, and I guess like image boards kind of like solve that by having anonymous. You know, everything's anonymous, but also it's that kind of also plays against like the general discourse, because you can just have someone with a Nazi flag and just posts like baboon memes all the time, you know?
Yeah, and I also think I think individuals or person at least could kind of advance it, because it gives it a sense of locality. Like you know, you can gather around this, or you know where this is. So
yeah.
Like, if you know it is a person, you also know what he stands for and where he is and where he comes from, and you know, kind of advancing from that context. And when it's just lefty pol, it's just whatever. It's just like pure, like positivism, like not positivism, but rationalism and logic.
Yeah. I mean, YouTube is slightly better for political. It's still terrible for political discourse, but slightly better than Twitter. So you have to kind of give YouTube politics that.
Well, yeah, but that's also like the video itself is the center where you like explain the point. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I think the problem with giving YouTube too much credit is like you also have to be someone before people will give a shit about your video. Like you have to get people to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas and YouTube's algorithms just make that a lot harder. And then on Twitter you can just spew out some hot takes and get like 100 followers in a week.
Yeah.
But where the real discussion happens is on Gab, of course. That's where the real intelligent people hang out. You know?
Oh yeah, the fucking men's. Yeah, Sagan is on men's, I think, and also like this very old shitty thing called I still have it here. Vote, b00t.
Oh, vote. Oh yeah. That's like. Isn't that like a Reddit thing, like
well, actually, I remember
Reddit copy.
Yeah, it's a Reddit copy, but I remember they made it just after Gamergate, because, like, you know, they were doing threats on 4chan, and they were like, "Oh no, we now we need a new safe space to have our rational discussion," and they like made a vote to like be that shit. So like
yeah,
but it's probably just bullshit now.
That's also how 8chan came about too, from Gamergate. Well, it was around before, but that's how it got more popular.
Yeah.
It was because
people worship the fucking midget guy.
Yeah.
Like,
was because like Mute was like he did some shit with poll. I remember that. That was funny. Like he like put all those word filters and stuff. There was like trigger warnings on every post. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And yeah. Because it was during the whole Gamergate thing.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that whole thing. But it's like there's also like a whole bunch of fucking chants out there with all sorts of garbage.
Oh yeah. Gamergate really like is kind of what shaped what brought us here to what online politics is like now.
Yeah.
Before Gamergate, it was all new atheism. The whole, like, if you wanted to be a cool, trendy person, was like, oh, yeah, you were a liberal new atheist or something, right?
Yeah.
And then with, like, small, very small niche sort of, like, you had, like...
well, Sagan was there, I think. Wasn't Sagan there before? I'm pretty sure he was, and he was still talking about the same things.
Before Gamergate? Really?
I think so, like... Well, probably not, I can't remember now. It's a long time.
Because I think before all that Gamergate stuff, he made like slingshot videos or something. Well, that was his first video, at least, was a slingshot video. So he was like Jorg Sprov before or something.
Oh, Jesus.
Just without the charisma.
Yeah. Jorg Sprov, that's the weird. Oh, what a cute little invention we have here. Let's try to look at it.
Let me show you its features.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a that's a big meme, but in my circle of real friends is the Jorgsprof. A very normie meme, but still.
Yeah, that's kind of what you need in real life.
Yeah.
Do you also have summer now, Pierre? Like holidays?
Like for summer, I'm doing like online school.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So.
For
the last year of after high school, I've basically been a giant holiday of not doing much. So.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I did that too. I just finished my second semester at uni, so I got some time now.
Yeah.
But like, do you remember I gave you that? Did you try the comedy night game I gave you?
What was it?
Like I gave you that the comedy night fan club. It was some shit called that. You know, it's a game where you like talk and make jokes. It's a stand-up comedy game.
Oh, comedy. Yeah. I played that a bit with a friend actually.
Oh yeah. Well, I just kind of imagined like we would have like something like this and like try to rate some stupid ass because I know there are some stupid ass servers in there with politics and shit.
Really? Because when I was on there, it was just like these really stupid like server. Like there's this one like trivia night, and I went on that and I just play like music on over the microphone until they banned me. You know?
Oh yeah, but like I saw some guy who was in a Taxationist Fifth server, who was that was run by Ben Shapiro.
Really?
Yeah.
The actual Ben Shapiro, or
no,
someone?
Just a lapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just been funny to just wait that shit like and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was just kind of what I imagined we could be doing if we like all got together and had that shit game.
Yeah. What else has been going on recently?
Let's see. We got the fucking esoteric entity shit, and we got the E3.
Then we got the marvelous movie called The Death of Stalin.
Well, that's a while ago.
Oh, I watched that.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
it was
I did
fun.
too.
Like, it was better than I expected it to be. It was actually.
It was actually.
I haven't seen it yet. I just want to say that, and like I actually wanted to, but it didn't go in any Danish cinemas.
Yeah, that's
and the only reason you watched it, and was because you had pirate TV.
Yeah.
I don't know how you fucking do it, but you have like.
Yeah, me and my dad we saw it, but it seems like he didn't like it because he doesn't like the propaganda.
The like anti-Stalin propaganda.
Yeah. Because he thinks it's too exaggerated. There was the scene, in the Gulag where he just shoots the people, right? And then one of the people says, like, long live Stalin, long live Stalin. This says, Stalin's dead, Melkov is dead, and then, like, just shoots him.
But I actually really wanted to, because I saw the other movie the guy made called In the Loop.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's like a woman, Khrushchev's in it, right?
No, it's take place in today, like in contemporary time.
Oh, I thought it was In the Loop.
In the Loop. It's about like this British minister who says some dumb shit, and then that dumb shit end up being like a reason to go to war or something.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, it's pretty funny because like it has Peter Capaldi in it, and he's like fucking saying a new asshole to everyone. Fucking Nazi Julia Andrews.
But what I like in the movie was Khrushchev was in it, and Khrushchev did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like
I think the guy who played Beria and the guy who played Khrushchev, they should have like switched positions.
Yeah. I actually thought Beria was Khrushchev, so I was very confused.
Yeah, because like wasn't Beria quite skinny and Khrushchev was fatter?
Yeah. But Khrushchev was a cool dude, so.
Yeah, and he was played by, well, you know the guy.
Yeah, the guy. That guy, yeah. I don't care about actors, so.
I could do sometimes, like...
Well, yeah, what's your thoughts about Khrushchev?
Khrushchev? I mean, I think... I'm not a big fan of his economic reforms. I think some of, like, the de-Stalinization policies were quite good, though. Some of the social reforms.
In my view, actually, he was like he had a lot of he thought he had the charisma. He thought he was like very good at like agriculture because he was a peasant himself. But he
the corn thing, that was really dumb.
Yeah, but he also made some other like he inspired a lot of stuff from Tito.
Yeah.
But that's one of the reasons why I like him that much. So.
But it's also like he kind of represents after, like, he wanted to put the Stalin tank behind the Soviet Union.
Well, he also wants... I like the idea that he wanted to, like, increase the living standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, that, like, his ideas to make it a more consumer economy instead of a very militarized economy, I think was a good a good idea, but his economic reforms I think weren't the best, and especially with like that deal he had going with Pepsi, where he would like they'd import Pepsi in exchange for vodka.
What's bad about that?
Well, I mean, mainly because I think they first of all, it kind of ripped off the country because exchanging vodka for it was like one bottle of Pepsi for one vodka, right? One bottle of vodka.
Yeah.
That seems like a ripoff to me.
Yeah, it's just that's fucking retarded.
Well, it was pretty popular in the US.
Well, it's like the labor theory of value. Like for like the Soviet Union, where they don't have fucking Pepsi, they'll probably like, oh yeah, sure, we have all this vodka and we have no Pepsi, so we might as well just do this shit.
The worst part is like when we talk about it, now when we talk about the labor theory, like when did we do the last stream where I talked about the labor theory value? Was it like last week?
Are you talking about the stream with societism?
Yeah, I think it was there where I just like talk shit about the labor theory value. Then I just
I think you did that afterwards, like after the stream.
Yeah, I made the mud pie argument, but then I found out that price and value are like two distinct things.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
and
like,
also like the one reason why the mud pie argument doesn't apply is because first of all it applies to commodities which have a use value, and mud pie. So a commodity is one that both has a use value and an exchange value.
But mud pie
and a mud pie doesn't have a use value, and therefore it wouldn't have an exchange value. Actually, the funny thing is in Haiti, they actually do have mud pies that they sell on the market. It's like mud crackers basically, because like people are so poor there and they're very hungry and they don't have enough food. So there's actually like sweatshops dedicated to making mud pies for people to eat, and it has no nutritional value. It's just it fills their stomach and
yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I made that argument. But then I found out that the value actually comes from EL, such. A commodity, the value of a commodity comes from EL. Or at least EL, yeah.
Well, because what was it? So isn't the equation of the labor theory of value? Fucking forget it. It was let me think. Variable capital. No, not static capital. Fixed capital, and surplus capital.
Was there also embodied labor? No.
Yeah, let me.
Wait, labor theory equation.
Yeah.
Yeah, labor embodied and labor. Wait, no, this is. Oh, wait. This is. Yeah, I think it's. It's kind of wait, let me try to, because this, I think this is David Ricardo's labor theory of value. What's your guys' thoughts on David Ricardo's theory on the falling rate of profit?
I haven't really occupied myself much with Ricardo, honestly.
What about you, Pierre?
I have David Ricardo's book. I got it recently. Actually, it was it Theories on the Principle of Economy? What's the name?
But have you heard of his theory on the falling rate of profit?
David Ricardo's?
Yeah.
No, I have not. I believe wasn't it Marx that?
No. It's traced behind Adam Smith.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's essentially productivity and wages. Increasing wages with productivity will, in the long run, have a tendency for profits to fall, because actually increasing wages has a big disaster of profit making in capitalist society. At least for the capitalist class. Then productivity is if wages go as much as productivity will make the profit rate begin to fall due to the rate of wages increasing, something like that. Keynes actually also talked about that in his general theory of interest, employment, and such.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I read about like Malthouse. Like you also ordered Malthouse. I remember at one point. Yeah, and I think I remember like his the Malthousian theory was also kind of like a critique of Ricardo. Like that was meant like not directly, but sort of surreptitiously meant to like oppose those principles.
The falling rate of profit?
Yeah.
Yeah, because after David Ricardo wrote his book on the principle of political economy and taxation, Malthus wrote his, which was of a similar name, which was an essay on the principle of population.
Yeah.
I think there was an yeah.
And then Jonathan Swift wrote a modest proposal. Some years, I think, before. Like the joke, you know the Jonathan Swift modest proposal.
Rings a bell, but
well, it's a book where he like makes a joke like that the Irish are going to eat their kids, their children, because they're starving.
Oh yeah,
like
which was based on Malthus, his principle of population.
Yeah, no, like I think it was before like Swift just he made it a satire because the Irish was living in poverty and no one in England was doing anything. And then he made wrote a book where he made the joke, well, the Irish are so poor that they are having children to eat them because they can't afford food or anything else.
Oh, it was a modest proposal for preventing the children of poor people from being a burden to their parents or country. Oh, okay. I'll have to read this. This kind of sounds interesting.
Yeah. Well,
add it to my wish list actually. Or my
But like its whole thing is it's meant like a joke because like the people in Britain was like watching while the Irish were starving.
Yeah, so it was like ironic, you would say, or is it?
Yeah,
like it wasn't.
Typical 18th century irony.
Yeah. Sort of like when Marx, when he wrote, it was his like 1948 essay on Ireland, where he said like, he made a comment about like the drunken Irish, which is taken to imply that like by many like Marx was racist or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But he also kind of was to some, at least, as far as
obviously, yeah.
Like there's those comments he made about the fuckhead. What's his name again? Latin.
Ferdinand Lassalle.
Yeah, Lassalle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he belongs in the zoo and that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, what was it?
Well, never mind. It's just something Max wrote.
Oh, against who?
Against some other socialist, which was a black guy, and he said like he belonged in the zoo.
Oh no! That one. That was not of Lassalle. That was of Lafarge, and that was actually made by Engels. And it was like an ironic statement of it was like written to Lafarge's wife. And he said like, it was because Lafarge won a council seat in a district that there was a zoo, and he was like congratulating his wife on Lafarge's achievement, saying that like seeing that Lafarge is like 1/8 a Negro. He used the other word. That since he's a degree nearer to the animal kingdom than the rest of us, we feel that he's the best representative of that district.
That's still fucking racist.
Yeah,
and it's true. It's like when a white guy think he can say nigger for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, those old folks.
I'm gonna go.
With Lassalle, Marx called Lassalle a Judeleitzig, which translates to Jewish nigger.
Yeah, I've actually heard of Societism.
Yeah, I think he has, because that's Eastern Marxist.
Yeah, Eastern Marxist. Yeah, he left Marxism because he thought class struggle, it doesn't come anywhere, right? But he supports the idea that Jesus will come back to earth and make the church again.
That was a highlight.
I watched that. That was a very funny.
Oh, you did watch
stream.
It?
Yeah. I was friends with Eastern Marxist / left economics / societism for a while. When he became and I'd even still talk to him after. Whereas like Muke was like, "Oh, I'm kicking him from the YouTube International. He's evil now," and then like he started becoming It was actually my other friend who we call Johnson Pike. Was like,
Lamp. I know Lamp.
Lamb, Lamb Zhang. Yeah.
Like, what's actually up with him? Because I only see like he's into some really weird memes.
Lamb Zanger, that's kind of been a big trait of his. He posts really good memes though. At least
I honestly can't understand them. Like, I'm too normie even for his memes.
Yeah, you have to. It's very, very. It's on another level of I
Yeah.
say that.
Hey, remember in socialism, one bunker where you said ANCAPs were anarchists?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Well, like I actually remember because like those links you gave in that video, I think they are broken now.
Yeah, yeah. He took down his previous
yeah.
blog posts. Yeah.
Well, that was actually kind of I actually thought when I looked into it, like you were broken up or something, like because yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we've been pals for a while. Yeah, actually, Societism, because he used to also used to be friends with Lamb's Anger, but like he locked him after they were like debating about like Catholicism and stuff. It was a debate about St. Thomas Aquinas. When Societism first became a Catholic, and he blocked Lamb's Anger.
Good.
I don't know if that's still the case, but yeah, it was weird. It was like Societism. He left Marxism, then he went to like social democracy. So he seemed to be getting more into pragmatism, and then maybe he had like some, I don't know, he had some weird idealist
the whole,
idealism left in him, and he went to Catholicism. I guess I don't know. It's really hard to understand his train of thought, because I knew him when he was an anarcho-capital. No, I knew him when he used to comment on my videos when he was an egoist, and slightly before then he was an anarcho-capitalist. Then he read the Communist Manifesto and he became a Marxist-Leninist. From there, he then went to social democracy.
I think he was a Marxist-Leninist Maoist, and then he became a... Because he was called sovereign Marxist before, where he was like a Maoist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But like he said, like the reason he became a Catholic was because of some personal incident in his life. That
really?
Didn't you see that in the stream?
I don't think I watched that far.
Actually. Oh, okay. It's in the beginning because.
Then yeah, I probably saw it, but I just don't remember it.
Yeah,
but I think it was I watched the part where he was like something about like how we need to like the Catholic Church needs to take over Israel. I think at that point I stopped watching.
Well, he didn't really. Oh yeah, he did say that. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really talk about it that much because he was kind of like, well, something quite significant happened in my life that made me choose religion. So, like, I didn't really want to dig into it because it could be like some tragedy that will just like make him sad or something.
Yeah.
And he also said the economics was boring. So.
Yeah.
Well, he said he was tired of having read so much about it that he didn't actually believe in it afterwards. Like.
Oh. Well.
Is Lamb actually a Keynesian? Like
Lamb's Anger?
Yeah.
Keynesian?
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I understand, yeah.
Like,
he's shifted his positions quite a while. He used to be a Marxist, then he went to anarcho-capitalism for a bit, then he went to minarchism, then I think he went to actually they were out from some time there was like a neoliberal, then he went to like neo-Ricardian Marxism. Now I don't know where he is now.
Yeah,
I think he's a Keynesian. I'm not sure.
Well, still always economics when it's about him, so.
Yeah.
Keynes was a good boy.
I know you believe that.
But he was a cool guy.
Well, we used his theories to rebuild Europe, but what happened after that, you know? Like, we went from Keynes to Hayek, and that was pretty much like.
Since when have we moved to Hayek? We still use.
That was like Thatcher. Thatcher and Reagan was like Hayek
live
babies.
We don't live in Britain.
Yeah, well, okay.
We live in Denmark.
Yeah, well,
didn't this? Well, actually, we did once.
Because Hungary, after communism, the Communist Party actually it still remained in power, but it went social democratic, right? Because you're oh wait, what? Maybe I'm getting confused here. Were you the? What's your name again with the Marx avatar?
Alen.
Yeah, are you? You're not Hungarian. Maybe I'm. Yeah, you're not. Are
Yeah,
you?
I'm not. I have.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
do you live in Hungary or?
No, I live in Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we know each other. We're both Danish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Pretty sad we live in this press country, but
I always tell them like it's actually better than most other places.
Well, yeah,
in
it's
Europe.
Keynesian. I'm happy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty glad from Denmark. We're doing all right.
Yeah, but like Ron always says that I need to cut the Keynesian bullshit, but
yeah, you haven't like you always like Keynes and Hayek and like academic agents is the best, and I'm like, dude, you haven't even read Marx.
Oh. Yeah, actually kind of fun. Actually, I have a photo of Marx, but I've never read him. I've read Lenin and Stalin, and
you read
but never
Stalin?
Marx. Yeah, Foundations of Leninism.
Oh yeah, good book, good guy.
Yeah, and then the Marx and the national question. I don't think if you can read the chapter of the national question without reading Marx and the national question to understand. And it's pretty good actually, the national question, because he's Georgian himself, so he actually very good to explain the majorities and how they should, But yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like he was kind of like inspired by like in his early life, like Marxism and like Georgian separatism, I guess, or. But then I guess that just sort of like went towards more of just a pan-Slavic nationalism.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I hate to admit it, but like I'm fucking starving right now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so I think we'll have to like.
I haven't eaten.
Put an end to this. Yeah, me too. So I think we'll have to like. Put an end to this and go and get some dinner and like do one more another time then. So like
I'm also getting tired, so
so like I think it's a good moment to like quit and
I think it was a good stream.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
all right,
yeah, see ya guys.
See ya.
Yeah.